I started Love Yourself after being booked for various speaking engagements and motivational speaking bookings. And I also realized there was a strong need for programs like this for young women in between the ages of 15 and 20. In addition to that, from my own personal experiences being a domestic abuse survivor, and in general, like people think that your experiences as a young woman, as a teenager, does not, they don't affect you when you get in your adulthood. It affects your reasoning in general as a woman. Whether that little boy you talk to at 17, all those experiences shape and form who you are. And sometimes those experiences aren't the best. And so that's why I started Love Yourself, because I want to teach young women to love yourself enough to know your worth, to not accept behaviors out of people that are not acceptable and not worthy of you. Know your worth, know your value. Our main mission, objective, purpose is to increase self-esteem in young women. And we do it organically and holistically through self-grooming workshops. We do it through teaching them about skincare, hair care, nail care, the importance of financial literacy, young women's health, and the importance of getting pap smears. We talk about everything from STDs to pregnancy, sometimes prenatal care, and sometimes after prenatal care. We even talk about your actual diet. Like, you are what you eat, essentially. And then most of all, we talk about the importance of higher education. Even if you don't go to a 4-year institution, learn a trade. Go to a 2-year, learn something. Go to cosmetology school, go to culinary school, learn something, because you have a purpose. And honestly, I don't believe that a 4-year institution is for everybody. After attending one of my Love Yourself workshops, I genuinely hope that these young women, their self-esteem increases. And I hope they feel good, and I strongly, my motto is, as a woman, when you look good, you feel good. So whether it's your makeup, whether it's your hair, whether you have on nice clothes, like when we look good, our whole body, our demeanor, our aura is totally different. When we look bad, we may look a little shabby, and it could be the various things. Sometimes we don't have the money. Sometimes we're not being innovative enough with our closets. Sometimes we simply just don't know. Regardless of what the actual reason is, that's our job. That's Love Yourself's job, to teach them how. Yeah. The one thing that I think is totally different that separates Love Yourself from many other mentoring programs is accessibility to me and our actual team members. We're very accessible. We give our personal emails. I give my personal email because I want them to come to me specifically, or one of my team members, whomever they grow a bond with, for many reasons. And I always create an environment or an atmosphere or try to establish a relationship that doesn't make them feel like they're judged. So if they have to come to me about anything that's personal, I'm never gonna judge you. I'm your sister. You can talk to me because I'm a woman too, and I understand. And just in general, from mentoring women, I've heard it all, so nothing surprises me. So yeah, the accessibility to me, and I actually give advice, and I'm so honest with them. Like, we really sit down and have a powwow like you would at a slumber party. That's really what we do. So I think initially they're attracted to the model aspect, the whole fashion aspect, the model aspect. But there's so many more layers to Bianca or Bianca Chardei or Bianca Richardson, whatever media calls me these days. But there's so many layers to Bianca besides me being a model. I have a degree. I love to cook. I can cook. I have a recipe book. I mentor young women. Like, this is my passion. Like, I grew up teaching children. So I grew up working at a family daycare. So I've worked around children in general, or young people, my entire life. This is one of my main passions. So yeah, I talk about skincare, hair care, and I talk about nail care. And in general, I talk about health, like the importance of eating a healthy and balanced diet. Coconut water. I absolutely love coconut water. Vita Coco especially, because it's not from concentrate. And even if it has juices in it, it has a puree in it versus something that's used from concentrate. And coconut water in general, it's very hydrating. It's very hydrating for your skin. It's high in potassium, and it replaces lost electrolytes. So I drink it all the time. Like, it's my go-to thing. And Carol's Daughter, you cannot live without. Carol's Daughter of Pentagon sponsored some of our samples for the girls, and then we had a macadamia shine hairspray, and we have an orange ambrosia body oil. And I like Carol's Daughter because it's paraben-free, sulfate-free, and it moisturizes very well. And I believe strongly in holistic care. And so it's a natural hair care and nail care. And then Behind the Beauty is one of my partners, and Behind the Beauty, Tamika was one of my guests today, and she talked to the girls about wardrobe. So normally for each workshop, I always have a guest, whether it's someone who's in the beauty industry or in the fashion industry. This particular time it was Behind the Beauty, and I actually just hosted their launch party, and it's a fashion consulting firm.
Well, I actually met Bianca a few years ago, and I've always supported everything Bianca has done. So when she asked me to come out to a Love Yourself workshop, and I love speaking to young women, I think it's very important, especially at this age. So I jumped in. I'm very proud of Bianca, and I think Love Yourself is an awesome nonprofit. I'm just glad to be a part of it. Anything dealing with mentoring young females, young women, I think is awesome, and it's greatly needed. So,
Willis Creation is a nonprofit organization that supports foster care youth, and we empower them through the arts. So whether it's culinary arts, visual arts, music, fine arts, we empower them through the arts and make them feel good, because there's a negative stigma when it comes to foster youth. I met Latoria, who is the founder of Willis Creation 4 years ago. Way before Top Model, I still had hair. And I met her, she was doing a workshop at a church, actually not too far from here. Found out she was from South Carolina as well. And we just bonded. And ever since then, I'm there for her. It's a rally that she does on the National Mall every year for foster care youth, doing Foster Care Month. And DMC and I from Run DMC, he's also one of the spokespersons for Willis Creation. We judge the actual talent competition. In the final competition, we invite notable persons, dignitaries, et cetera, et cetera. And I just gelled with her, and the actual group of young people that she has are absolutely amazing and so talented. So talented.
Well, my organization, Willis Creation, we've been working with youth in the DC metropolitan area for the last 5 years. I met Bianca Chardei probably about 4 years ago, and we had a model call because we were just doing some things in the arts, and she came out to lend her support. We hit it off. We're both two South Carolina girls, and we hit it off, and she's been a partner, a dear friend of mine ever since. She is a jewel. She is a great find. She's very passionate about working with girls. She's very passionate about being a voice, and a voice of reason, and also for being there for girls. I mean, she's given me stories of when she's had to support young ladies who've gone through her program, and and she will put it out there. If you need me for anything, call me. And some girls have taken her up on that, and they've called her and asked her for her support. She's genuine. She has a heart and a commitment to make a difference and a change in these young ladies' lives.
well, I'm a part of Willis Creation, so as a staff member and a student, it's kind of my job.
Okay.
Well, plus I wanted to see Bianca because I haven't seen her in a while. So.
Why did you want to see Bianca?
Because she's a good role model, and she's a really good mentor, and she has a lot of information that can definitely be passed on to the younger generation of women. The first time I met Bianca was a few years ago at our talent search that we held in DC. She was one of the judges, and so I got to meet her through Latoria. Love Yourself needs to be national, because in the message for young women, loving yourself, that needs to be a message that goes across, because there's a lot of unmodesty, and there's not enough women who respect themselves. So for that message to be out there is definitely important, and I think a lot could be changed with that. The Love Yourself workshops, my favorite part, I think, was just the talk. Just being informed with, how to treat your body correctly as far as foods are concerned, as far as beauty is concerned. I think that's my favorite overall. Definitely the egg whites on the face. I didn't know. I mean, I know that like some people, they eat eggs like straight for protein, but actually my face feels pretty good, so I can't complain. What I love about myself is that I'm a giver. I've been through a tough past, so there's a lot of stuff that even, Bianca being a mentor that, that I can get and I can use to apply to my life in the future